James Elder, IFL TV, MTK Global. With me, I've got Jordan Gill. We're here in your call. Firstly, good to see you, Jordan. It's been a while, champ.
It has. It's cold in here, isn't it?
Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in the world of Jordan Gill. I've seen you change trainers and relocated. You're now working with Dave Coldwell. What was the reason and logic behind that decision?
Yeah, I felt like I needed new challenges. I felt like I needed more opportunities. I wanted more fights. I wanted to be fighting regularly, and I want to be in big fights. You know, as a fighter, you don't want to go through your career fighting journeyman and just ticking over. I want these big fights. I want to knock out these big guys off their pedestals. You know.
Got an impressive record now. Do you think it's the time that we see you challenged and maybe in some of these potentially big fights you're hoping for?
Yeah, for sure. 2018, I'm looking at all them guys, all the guys at the top. I'll fight any one of them, and everyone knows that. So it's just a case of getting the fights nailed in. I had 2 fights with Dave now, and both gone to plan. I've had 1 stoppage, 1 went to points, and I'm now mandatory for the English title. The guy who had the English title, Samir Munemne, he vacated it because he didn't want to fight me. The board put forward Ben Jones. He said no thanks, he don't want to fight me. No one seems to want it, but you know, we're going to find someone to fight for that English title, and we're going to absolutely pagger him.
Who do you think's best in the division as it stands, in your opinion? Excluding yourself.
You know what? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out in the 2018. Obviously, you got people like Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg and Lee Selby. I think Lee Selby will be an interesting fight against Josh Warrington. So I think I'm not sure if Lee Selby's got the power to keep him off for 12. So it's going to be interesting.
If you was offered any of these fights in 2018, would you sign your half of the contract? Say, for instance, if I don't know, the Scott Quigg fight, for instance, is that a fight that interests you?
No problem. You come to me, show me the paper, I'll sign it. If the deal's fair, all you want is to say, yeah, that's fair, I'll sign it, let's get it on. You put the gloves on, and we'll do it, no problem.
Big fight for you, that one.
Yeah.
How is everything going then with the likes of Tony Bellew in camp? We know big fight for him, May the 5th against David Haye. How is the mood amongst Tony Bellew, David Haye and the rest of the team? Dave Coldwell and the rest of the team.
It's buzzing, you know, it's buzzing. It's a good little gym. You know, everyone's happy, everyone's training hard. I feel like even though I'm like the youngest one there, and I've probably got a lot to learn, I feel like everybody's learning. Even Tony Bellew, I don't even know how old he is, but you know, he's at a late stage of his career where Dave will say maybe he's got 2, maybe even 3 fights left, but he's still learning through these fights. And I think he's showing in the fights as we go along. You know, I'm learning every day, and every fight you're going to see me get better and better. It's going to start with that English title early next year.
Big fight coming up this weekend. Billy Joe Saunders defending his world title against David Lemieux. How do you see that fight playing out?
I think Billy Joe Saunders is just going to be outclassing him all night. I think his ring IQ is much higher than David Lemieux. I think David Lemieux's got a big punch, but you know, if you can't find a target, what good is it? So I think Billy Joe Saunders is going to put on a show, and we like Billy. He's a good lad, so I'm sure he's going to bring it home.
Thoughts on Tyson Fury, potential return 2018, what are your thoughts on that?
Can't wait. I love him, I do. I think he's brilliant. I think he's good for the sport. You know, people say he's not a good role model, but you need people like that in boxing, in any sport, because you know they bring their life to the sport, and they're just funny. Like I just love him. Like personally, like he could say anything, I wouldn't be offended, because it's just him, innit? And he says what he wants and he does what he wants, and 100% of the time so far he's backed it up. So I want to see him in big fights, maybe with Tony Bellew, maybe with Anthony Joshua. You know, we'll see what happens.
The banter between Fury and Tony Bellew was proper funny the other day. Did you see that stuff?
I see it on was it Soccer PM? I haven't seen that one, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it. But obviously they're going to be bantering now because they want to build a fight. But Tony's got David Haye to contend with first, and I'm sure he'll do a job on him. So.
You see the same outcome between Tony Bellew and David Haye the second time?
You know what? I think it's going to be interesting because obviously David Haye, hopefully he comes in fit and ready, and Tony Bellew can prove himself. I had Bellew winning the fight the first time around before the Achilles went. I think Tony was boxing brilliantly, and then he stopped boxing brilliantly when David Haye sort of injured himself, because I think he got a little bit excited, as I'm sure we all would. But you know, I think this time I think it's going to go shorter. I think I think Bellew wins, and I think it's going to be a 5-round shootout. You've heard it here first.
You think Bellew wins by stoppage or KO?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think David Haye's seen better days. I think he's not cut out for it anymore. I think he should stick to sitting on yachts and drinking pina coladas, because it's a tough sport.
Jordan Gill, great to get you back on IFL TV. Thanks for your time today, and we look forward to hearing some news regarding what's going on for a fight date for yourself very soon. Thank you.
Let's get it on.